19th, 1865, the last of enslaved people in Galveston, Texas were finally freed. This Juneteenth, we are looking at a special community right here in South Carolina that was made up of formerly enslaved people who used their freedom to become the first self-governing town before the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. Our Lauren Lennon shares the story of Mitchelville.
These folks went from being property to owning property. So the land they've been working on against their will, now they were working on to help them out personally.
This land, known as the town of Mitchelville, the first town of self-governing, formerly enslaved people in the United States, all before the holiday we now know as Juneteenth.
David Hunter, who was the controller here at the time, was commander of the South, tried to start the colored troops about a year too early. And that kind of became a scandal. So he got reassigned. In comes Ormsby Mitchell, sees the lay of the land, see these folks looking for freedom and opportunity. He gives them about 300 acres of property, says this is your land, you build on it, you grow on it. So you had this municipality happening in the state that started the Civil War, during the Civil War, at the height of enslavement. So this was not supposed to be happening.
Yet it did happen, and it was successful. Ward says between 1862 and 1868, at the town's height, there were about 3,000 people and about 500 homes. The town was fully functioning with their own form of government, a church that served as a town hall and courthouse.
They were becoming citizens of something that they helped to foster at a time where everybody else around them would have been in chains and shackles.
So when talking about a black person's fight for freedom, Ward says this town is a crucial component of history to include.
The Sea Islands were notoriously hard to get to during that time frame. So that protected Gullah Geechee culture, but also kept some histories hidden. You know, so you learn more about Mitchelville. Even though Mitchelville was basically rubber stamped by the U.S. government, you still don't get this in history.
And this history is especially important today when celebrating Juneteenth.
Our tagline is where freedom began. That's where real, true freedom started, because it was something that they were able to foster and build and connect to. It's our goal to try to make sure that people who grew up in South Carolina, folks who come to visit South Carolina, will learn more about this very important history.
Working for you.
It's very important to the fabric of what we talk about when we talk about American history.
Lauren Lennon, News 4.